Yeah, the menace that the boy child commits within the society is something that is really worrisome. Indeed, it bothers a lot of people. Fortunately, I find myself in a community where I'm able to learn a lot about this issue. And all the vices that you can think of, I've seen so much of it. Uh, Cases of rape, cases of drug and alcohol use, cases of occultism, cases of murder, uh, fighting, stealing, so many things like that that you find that these young boys are doing all over the place. We are seeing all of them within this community where I live. And when you think about it, where is this problem coming from? How did we get it wrong? Or how did they get it wrong? The problem is coming from the upbringing. You cannot separate it. You just can't. Because a lot of factors has affected the upbringing of the child. Still in this community, I want to mention a lot of factors that affected them. One of them is polygamy. You find that, in this polygamous home, they have so many wives, so many children, and they are not able to cater for them. They don't even know where the children are. I know a case where a man has about 10 wives and 50 children, some of them 3 wives, some 7 wives. What is going to happen to those children? What will happen to their upbringing? It will affect them adversely. And that is what I have noticed here. Another thing that happened is teenage parenthood. Many of the young people, they get pregnant at an early age. You see a girl of 13 is already a parent, a boy of 17, 19, and so on. They're already parents. What do they know at this tender age? What can they offer the child? Do they know anything about parenting? And that is the result of what you will see, because they are not able to guide these children in the right path or care for them appropriately. The third one is the issue of the environment. An environment has been created that is volatile to the children, that is unsuitable for the children. This environment is an environment where you have other kids who have been in these vices, and then you are bringing your child into this environment. What is going to happen to that child? The child is going to learn from them. So that is a problem. The other one is the economy, which is something that affects everybody, but it affects the poor most. It becomes an issue of poverty. They are unable to provide for the children. And when they are unable to provide for the children, what happens? They begin, as they grow up and begin to develop initiative, they begin to get into all sorts of things like stealing and all that. We have some peculiar cases also whereby uh, some parents do not have the time to give their children attention. Many of those from the elite class, they are very busy. Mother is busy, father is busy, and then there's no time for the child to know what the child is going through. The child has a lot of questions to ask. Growing up, who is the child going to ask? He's going to ask a third party, friends, peers who are outside, and they will give wrong advice. They will introduce that child to all kinds of vices. Then we have the case of the parents. There are some parents that they they are not good role model for the children. They have not given their children the right kind of parenting about life. I'm talking about these men who are violent. When a man is violent to the wife, always beating the wife, what will the son do? The son is going to learn from him. To a large extent, I've seen a case where the father is even telling the son that women, you need to teach them a lesson. You need to reset their brain. And this child grows up with this mentality and is doing the same thing. I've actually seen a child who is doing the same thing that the father did. So these are some of the things. There are many things that happens within the environment. Education is another thing. When there's no education, because what these people within this community suffer from is education. If there's no education, they continue in that cycle of the same way of life that they live. And you see them in their polygamy, having many children. Children don't go to school, and they go into drugs and so many things. That is where the problem lies. So what should we do? It lies in our hands. I have a friend who we've been going about within the community trying to help some of them. to talk to them, to change the orientation, at least from our own side. I think some of us, when we are opportune, we should do that. To a great extent, at least I can say about two of them have been able to graduate from the university. We also have a sister who is also taking them into her school to assist them to reduce this kind of thing. So that is what we should do. The government itself should also play its role. The churches, and the Muslim community should also play their role by offering teachings that will encourage people, that will also help these children to move in the right path, that will teach the parents the right thing to do. The government should bring these schools at an affordable rate closer to these communities so that it will reduce all those ones who are out of school. When they are engaged in school activities, busy in school, or learning one trade or the other, they will not be doing all these things. I think if we start from this way, we'll be able to go far. Thank you.